Hello, hello. There we go. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I didn't even bring, damn it, I didn't think this through. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to make sure everything's working, and oh, I forgot my tablet again. Jesus. Okay, here I am. So, we've got some court and behavior, and I figured I'd come in and we'd have a look at it. Better camera here. So, several of the fish are responding, so there's basically some hormones floating around. It's not really a good camera either. So just stay with this one. Can I zoom it? Yeah, I can. Good. It's a different app, so my apologies. I figured I'd live stream some breeding behaviors. And if anyone wants to ask questions, we can ask me anything. We can talk about these fish. I'm just getting open my tablet so I can see the chat. But what I've been seeing is this guy right here is extra frisky, and he's basically just reached adult size. He was a 3-incher. November, I think I bought him. Maybe even early December, and he's just already huge. I think it was December. And I bought these guys that time too. And one of them's already laid eggs. This one over here in the corner has already laid eggs once. So has Big Red a few times now. That's a male, and you see, these two are interacting. I don't know, the one on the left here, this one, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But he seems to be fending off the male is paired with this female. So I don't know if it's a female trying to take the male. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I gotta watch what I touch, apparently. I just don't know what sex that fish is yet. I'm starting to think it's a male because it's challenging males, known males. Like that blue one up in the corner there, it's got some pecks on his side. He's probably getting straight. He's a boy, and he's pretty much been pushed up into the corner there, which isn't really good, hopefully. And then we've got this female dancing. So that might be she might be in play. See that's a female for sure, and she's dancing. So who's she dancing for? She's been dancing for this male in the past, and he might be responding to her. Not sure though. She's a young female. Or sorry, this male. I think she's dancing for that male in the corner. And Big Red's also got the hots for that guy, and she's up over there too. See, look, boom, chasing what I think are females away. Females chasing females, males chasing males. But he's just gorgeous. Look at him, he's grown up so good. Oh, he's hiding now, but look at him, man. Just a little forehead on him. It's just coming out. He's gonna have the big bulbous forehead. I love that. I've been wanting to have fish show that feature. It's because he's growing out right. Yeah, she's dancing. She is dancing. And it's gotta be for him. But this is what it looks like when they start courting. The tank changes. There's hormones in the water. Everybody kind of gets excited at the same time. And then it's who's gonna pair off with who. And you watch that. I don't really have the new breeding station set up yet, but I'm in the works for that in the next couple weeks. And see, he's over there trying to clean a surface, or she. Not sure what she is, or it is, but it's shaking too. It's trying to call someone over. Look, I found a spot. So it's springtime, and these fish are going to start popping off. I did it again. If I touch the screen at all, it'll switch cameras. Kind of sucks. That's some breeding behaviors. Should be watching the tablet a little more. What the hell, now it's not going to show me my shit. Switch Wi-Fi's. Okay, I see the chat now. Hello, only Oscars and Alan. How's you both doing? And Christopher as well. I don't know. I don't know why the Discus aren't hiding. It's very strange. I keep trying to ask Father Fish why my discus don't hide like all of his swamp discus do, and I never get a straight answer from the man. I don't get an answer at all, actually. Yeah, the reds are doing good. I like this one here. He hasn't finished coloring up yet, but it's got that little like almost like blue eyeshadow underneath its eye. I don't know how to describe it. Eyeliner or whatever the women wear. And it's going to turn bright red when it finishes coloring up. The whole body should look like the fins do. So that's going to be a beautiful fish. And then I got the other ones, the orange ones they call reds as well. He's actually going to be like stop sign red. He should be anyway. Then we got these guys, the pigeons. And they're all dancing too. Everybody's getting ready to lay eggs on me. I'm not ready for them. They're all just getting ready. I suspect this white one beside this female, I think he is a male. Because that one fights with males. So that's sort of an indicator if you watch who they push around. This guy here is a male, and I believe he's starting to respond to her. See how he's fluttering his little fin there? He's signaling. He's looking at her. So, and she's doing a little wiggle too. So I might be able to pair these two up. If I put those two in a tank right now, they might just do their thing. Tempted to do it. I went and moved the angelfish out into one of the breeding tanks just to get them out of the way. Yes, I'm going to bare bottom the breeding tank. And what I'm going to do is where these barrels are, I have an identical tank to and stand to this tank downstairs. I went and stained it a different color, but I'll just stain this one to match and change the color of my canopy. But it's the same make, same model, but 65 gallons. So there's not 4 feet there, but there is 3 feet there, no problem. There is 4 feet, but it's real tight. So I'm going to put the 3-footer in there, and it'll be it's just going to be like, what it would be like 155 gallons of tank from left to right across my kitchen. And then I'm not going to water change the breeder. Instead, you see, my theory is they're doing the daily water changes because they're trying to get the pathogen-free water, right? And keep the waters as clean as possible. You want no bacteria, you want no pathogens. But I've been conquering that problem by overpowering UV. And when I put this tank over here, what I'm going to do is build one of those overflows like I designed from my Oscar setup downstairs. Got a couple of them running down there. And I'm going to link that down here. I'm going to put a $20 pump in here and send water up and overflow it down in here. So I'm going to have both tanks overflowing down here the same way I'm doing it downstairs through the barrels. And I'm not even going to put any filters in the 65 over there. I'm just going to cycle water because this tank is so over filtered that the filtration in here should be able to also handle the extra 65 gallons over there. And then because they'll be linked, the whole setup will benefit from larger volume of water. And then I'm going to change my water change cycle to every 3 days because I'll only be changing out 120 gallons of the 155. It'll be a little bit less than I'm changing out now. So I'll change my water change cycle from a 5-day to a 3-day cycle, and I believe the water will stay clean enough because of all the filtration over here to keep the babies alive over there. And the problem with babies dying in the first 30 days is water quality, and that's why I'm not succeeding in 20 gallons, because you just can't keep 20-gallon tanks clean long enough. So I'm able to keep the babies alive for a week, and then they just either get eaten by the parents because they're failing. They disappear. I wake up in the morning, they're gone one day, and it's like 5 to 7 days in. I think it's water quality related, and yeah, that's how I'm going to deal with it. Looping. Yeah, 50%. That's what I do on my Oscars. They get 50% once a week downstairs. I got to do a little bit more for these guys, just because they're Discus. Hello, Slim Tim. Oh, I gotta give you some blue stuff here. There we go. Like that. And but yeah, that's coming real soon. I've got help coming to move the tank around because I can't really carry it by myself. And I should be getting that done next week or so. But I see he's still. I don't know who he's trying to pair with, though. I think he might just be responding to hormones, and he doesn't quite know what he's doing yet because he's too young. He's running around bullying people because of it. He's a male too, and he's paired with this female. So if there's any two, I'm gonna pull. It'll probably be them, and I'll stick them in a 20 gallons to give it a shot. But I just to let them practice another round because they always fail 10 to 15 times on each stage. So it's good to let them have a practice run. But I could also just let them lay in the tank. But as soon as I do that, the eel's gonna eat it all. The eel will eat the eggs. Four-fifth halfway. Yeah, that must take some time. When I do downstairs 50%, it's 450 gallons of volume, and it takes me over an hour to change out downstairs, just to change out the water. And that's only 50%. They generally seem to stick together. I would say yes, but I had these two paired off here, okay? But they're related, and they matured first, so they paired off. They look the same. And then when the other fish became old enough, I think maybe instinctively she knew it was her brother, and she rejected him and paired off with this new male. So she did switch, but she switched off from her brother. Resetting the entire system. Like new gravel, new everything. Reset it. Or just a deep clean reset. Or did you move your fish and you're like dropping peroxide in there and doing that kind of reset? It's good if you get runaway. You gotta go. Hello, Mr. Jim. Oh, he's great. Ooh, where are we? There we go. We're just having a look at the Discus because they're doing they're getting frisky because it's spring, right? So I've got a whole lot of courting behavior, and I figured I'd live stream it because you never know when it's going to happen. And I got a few pairs sort of dancing and getting excited. lot of them are still immature fish, but you know, it's part of the process. I think we got this male is going to pair with this female. They look like they've been getting that way for the last couple days. And he's well, I was told he was a male one, and I've confirmed she's a female because I've seen her lay eggs. And then I got my usual pair, which is this guy in the corner and his girlfriend right there. Oh no, that's not her. Where is she? She's up behind him, I think. Oh no, she's down here. There she is. That's his girlfriend. And he's getting a hard time because the other males are trying to force him off his girl. And of course, she don't want nothing to do with anyone but him. And likewise, but they'll do that. They'll steal his girlfriend if she's the one throwing hormones, trying to steal the girlfriend. This guy here, I think it's young. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. He keeps bossing around this male, so he's competing. He's pushing a male away from something. It's probably a boy. Yeah, I know some of... Hello, Discus. Let me give you a blue screen too. I know some of them are boys and girls, so I'm trying to use that to... Because the girls tend to pick on the girls and the boys tend to pick on the boys, so the ones I don't know, who they pick on. Like right now, that one, that's a female chasing a... I think that's the other female. Yeah. Female, so she picked on the female, and then the males will pick on the males. So I don't know if it's a surefire method, but I'm kind of new at this, so I think that's what's going on. I don't know what this one is. I think that one might be a boy too. I've got a good even mix of boys and girls though, which is hard to do. Most of the time you get a tank full of females. And I managed to get lucky and get a number of boys. Yeah, let me have a look at that channel real quick. Yeah, I'm subscribed. I'm already there. Ooh, you got some breeding going on. Sweet. I'll be checking those out later. Be babies all over the place. Good job. Yeah, I like to let them pick their own, and then I put them off to the side. I'm not trying to force them. I know I have two in this tank that are definitely paired, and that's him and her. And they've actually made babies, and I only were able to keep them alive for a week before they... I think they just ate them. I think what might have been happening is the females got to be around, they could lay eggs again, then the males took the babies out so they could breed because they're young. But I also think it might be my water quality, and the 20 gallons is just not suitable for them, and I'm going to start breeding them in a large volume of water. Oh, okay, yeah, the city, gotcha. Michigan, you're near the border. I'm looking to get some heckles. There's a guy in town that's got a bunch of 3-inch F1 heckles. And darn things are like $180 each. I know they're expensive, but I didn't think they were that bad. Yeah, yeah. There's gonna be a 65-gallon breeding station off to the side to just trying to pair in there and see if I get better results. I could be failing because they're just too young and they still need to learn, and I'm beating a dead horse. But I'll find out when I link that 65 in. That'll tell me, because I halfway think 20 gallons aren't big enough, but I see other people do it in 20 gallons, so I don't know. I just don't know. He's a stinker discus, so like an actual stinker discus. That's why he's got that little tail on the back of him. And I really want him to breed. Yeah, I think this water's at least 3 days old now. I forgot. I lost count. Could even be 4. I keep it so sterile. I don't have to change it every day, and my fish grow like mad. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with my growth rates, and I can change the water with this many fish in a 90 gallon, and I can change the water every like 4 or 5 days, no problem. I've been doing it every 5. Look, no bubbles on top. It's 3 to 4 days old. No bubbles forming and staying. Everything's peachy clean. Yeah, 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 exactly. Like the swamp tanker's pushing that you can stick these fish in those tanks. It's really a disservice to the hobby as a whole, in my opinion, because um, they're just gonna, he's sitting there teaching people how to kill $200 fish. Like, you couldn't be more cruel. Could you imagine being the guy that believed it, went out and spent $1,000 on some adult fish, a tank full, and to watch them die a month later because you followed just some shitty advice? You got bubbles on the top. Bubbles. You don't need a TDS meter. You just watch your bubbles. If you got bubbles hanging around for 5, 6 seconds, it's time for water change. Look, I don't have any. This is old water. But I run an intense UV. I got so many filters. I got a big sump, and I got, yeah, I even got Purigen running. I'm doing every level of filtration that exists. Yes, thriving is not thriving. Thriving is when a 3-inch discus is like gaining an inch a month into adulthood. That's thriving. That's what you should be seeing. That other guy, Verac there, he's got his little swamp discus tank he set up, proved wrong. It's been up for about 2 months now. His discus are still 3-inch. They haven't moved. I think their eyeballs grew. That's about it. Yeah, that's all I've seen. Now he's hiding his tank. Father Fish won't even show us his discs. They're probably dead. He won't even show them. It's that embarrassing for him. But he's sitting there telling people he knows it's wrong. He watched his own fish die more than once. But I think he gets a kick out of it. I really do. I can't comprehend it in my mind otherwise why he would continue to push this narrative, other than he's getting some kind of cheap thrill out of teaching people. And maybe when they start emailing him and they're going off, he probably sits there and laughs. I just lost $1,000 worth of fish, and he probably sits there and laughs. I really think that's got to be it, because I can't comprehend why someone would do this. Yeah, yeah. But I've screenshotted his old fish and everything. And the thing about discuses, they all have unique little patterns on them. If you look from one to the next, they never look the same. It's like a fingerprint. So maybe he's waiting for us to forget the fingerprint, but I assure you, I'm going to put screenshots up beside the new ones and show you that they're new ones if he does that. But I do believe he bought pigeon bloods because he thought, pigeon bloods generally all look the same, right? But they're not really the same. Like, like look at this one versus, this one. They all get a different pattern. And it's always unique. So although they look similar, these two, they're not the same. And we'll be able to tell. Yeah, I don't remember the patterns, but I'm waiting for it. I'm going to point it out. It's Father Fish. The name of the channel that's teaching everyone how to put these fish in swamp water is Father Fish. And the other channel, the Vrak guy, I call him Vrak o Drama. He's Uncommon Aquatics. Uncommon Aquatics. You go check his Discus movies out. He brings me up specifically, and he says I'm all wrong, and Discus can live in a swamp tank, and he's going to prove it. And so he sets up a swamp tank, and then he runs out and he buys. I think he bought 8, and now he's last I saw he was down to less than 6. But yeah, he bought a bunch of 3-inchers, and they're just all hiding and horrible and listing and dying basically. But he sits there telling you they're doing just fine, and then he spends the whole video looking at his plants because he doesn't want you to see his fish. It's hilarious. It's absolutely. I'm halfway embarrassed for the guy. Pair of legs, lay eggs. German says, "Hello, I have 10 discus in a 120 gallon. I have 1 pair laid eggs, and do that. Let the other discus swim. Need a separate pair." Well, if you got 1 pair in the tank laying eggs, the babies will not survive. The parents will try and protect them, but they're going to get eaten. And if they manage to protect them well enough for them to hatch, the babies will wander off, because discus babies are kind of dumb, and they're just going to get eaten up. So when you see them pairing off and getting ready to lay eggs, like they picked a spot and they're cleaning a spot, you want to move them into a breeding tank with a cone. And then because their hormones are so wound up, they don't mind that they just got netted. They'll might be freaked out for 10 or 20 minutes. They'll go right back to it. They'll be right up on that cone wanting to get the job done. So that's how I do it. I keep them in the main tank, and I observe until I see them getting ready, because they don't always breed. They just decide they want to when they want to. And so when they do, I sit here and I watch them like we're doing now together, and I spend a lot of time trying to figure out who's pairing with who, because a lot of these fish haven't they're too young, they're just starting, so I've got to figure that out. But my main pair, if they start cleaning a spot and getting ready to lay eggs, I'm going to scoop them and throw them in a tank. And I don't expect the babies to live in the 20 gallon, but it's better to let them practice in there than here, because then they get to that stage where they hatch them, and if they can attach them right, it might work out. Yeah, the 20s are too small. I've come to realize that, and I've got other tanks. I've got some 30 gallons. I've got 3 30 gallons, a 65, and that I can convert into discus breeding stations that'll be bigger than these things. But I need to build a rack over here. I need to get the 65 there. I'm going to put a 30 over top of the 65, and then I'll be linking that in. It'll be linked into these 3 as well, and then I'll have a 65 breeding station and a 30 breeding station in this room when I'm done. Yeah, they divorced in the new tank. No, mine seems to stick together no matter where I put them. And when I put them in the breeding tank, they'll breed. And then if things don't work out, they'll stop. They go off breeding. But then I bring them back to main tank, and it'll kick them right back in again because they're with all the other fish, and they get frisky again. So I do move mine a lot. And they've gotten used to me netting them. They're not so offended by it anymore. Hey, anytime, German. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. I answer all the questions in my comments, and I just want to help people succeed with these fish. It's really not that hard. The thing that makes it hard is all the advice out there. There's good advice, there's bad advice. It's just hard to sort through it all, and so I sorted through it all and sort of came up with my own approach, I guess you could say. Not quite bare bottom, but almost no substrate, so I can clean it easy. I mix the gravel with 50-50 gravel sand so that the glue doesn't fall into cracks. It's easy to gravel vac because it's not 18 inches thick, and it doesn't take me forever to thoroughly clean it, you know. It's work smart, not hard. Yeah, the 65 might be too large. It might be, but if it is, I can divide it up into 230s and go that route. Just put a divider down the middle. I'll glue it right in. Just get a big old sheet of plastic and divide the tank up. But I think because it's only going to be a 3-foot tank, I think it might work. Me too. I like making sure it's nice and clean. I like the maintenance. I like all the maintenance. I like when I finish the maintenance. I really like when I wake up the next day after maintenance. That's the best. You go look at the tank like the day after maintenance, and it's just amazing. Yeah. I lay eggs about every 6 days, and they'll keep trying. But in the main tank, like I said, do you get wigglers? Yeah, a 40 would be ideal. A 40 would be ideal because you can't do big water changes, but you got to keep the water clean at the same time. So you're going to be doing frequent small water changes so you don't shock the babies. That's my guess. That's how I'm going to do things. Yeah, but this gives me like, you know, beneficial bacteria gets set up on all that gravel too, so it's all bad. And I find when I clean my bare bottom 20 gallons, it takes me forever to really get it clean and suck up all the stuff, because I don't know, I almost spend more time cleaning the bottom of a 20 gallon than I do cleaning all this gravel. But that's just me. But I really try to clean it so the glass is all shiny, right? I might be doing it too much. Yeah, I don't know. I just I like seeing a tank of gravel, so I tried to do it this way, and it's working. I mean, this tank's 2 years old and it's rock solid. So I think the concept behind the bare bottom uh, approach, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just if something goes wrong, and you have a bare bottom tank, right? You can shock the tank with meds, and the meds will wipe everything up because there's nothing hiding in the gravel. So there's a huge advantage right there to saying bare bottom. Uh, if you solve your problems with meds. Up here, I can't solve my problems with meds. We get almost nothing available to us because there's med bans. So um, my approach is sanitize the water constantly with UV and heavy filtration.
but like the UV is doing the sanitizing. And so, you do a daily water change. Well, you're getting out pathogens that way, right? That's really what you're doing. But if you just irradiate the water column, there's nothing alive in it, just your fish. You don't have to change your water every day. And I haven't needed meds in months. Since I got my UV sorted out and strong enough, I haven't needed to use meds since. Not at all. I've even dropped new fish that I purchased straight in my main tank, no problems. I know that's crazy, but yeah, it worked, So, and I'd hate to have to change a 90-gallon tank every single day. I would do it if I really had to, but the idea was try and get it more like a real cichlid, a normal cichlid tank, closer to the once a week mark. Is ideal, and that's where I'm at right now with this setup. But when I add the 65 in, I'm gonna swing back to every 3 days, and just to make. I might even do it every 2 days because it might upset my balance until I'm sure everything's good. But yeah, it's definitely been a fun fish to keep. It's not like any other fish I kept, and because I enjoy the work, it really is. It's the coolest fish I ever had. Yeah, $20. Like, I'm using these. You look up pond UV bulbs, okay, and they sell these exposed ones that are dangerous, but it's down here, and I don't have to look at it. $20, meant for a pond. I got one of these on 450 gallons of water downstairs, and it's radiating everything. The water in my Oscar tank looks just as good as this, and there's no Purigen in it. I'll go show you. I could go show you right now. But trust me, it's the same. Just check my yesterday Oscar video or whatever. It's exactly like this. And what's doing it? That $20 bulb. You just gotta stick it somewhere that ain't gonna kill your fish, and you're good to go. Hey, Paul, welcome aboard. Yeah, I've been working on these babies for collecting them up and growing them out. It'll be 2 years this April. Beginning of so I'm almost my 2-year Discus birthday right now in a few days. And wasn't all looking like this the whole time. I made my mistakes. I did the learning curve thing, and I was also watching videos telling me that swamp tanks were good for people, so I wasn't worrying about my water the way I should have been, and I lost some fish because of that. But we're making everyone aware now. Skeptical Aquatics, if you haven't heard of him, check his channel out. He has got a deep dive on the swamp cult like no other, and you get to see actually what's going on through his channel. Me, I just talk about how it's affecting Discus. He dives into the whole damn racket, like everything from the YouTube channel manipulations to the fake subscriber counts and the fake commenters. It's all paid for, and he's proven it. I run my UV 24/7. I never turn it off. But cool, 12 hours better than nothing. Some people only run them 4 hours a day. Here's why I run mine 24/7. Because the type of pathogens that float in water columns normally rapidly reproduce. The bacteria that will float in water columns that can harm your fish can reproduce in minutes. So if you run your UV for 12 hours and then turn it off for 12 hours, well, you're going to have a 12-hour period of reproduction. that's not being hindered. So I leave it on 24/7, and I make sure everything's always dead. But that's me. And I don't have to worry about, like, I understand why people time it, because the bulbs on the expensive UVs are expensive. You got a couple $100 just to replace your bulb. I'd run it for 12 hours a day too, because I'm cheap. But because I'm cheap, I run this $20 nickel metal halide bulb down there. It's better than any fluorescent bulb could ever be, because it's a nickel metal halide bulb, and it literally blasts. It's destroying the look at, I don't know if you can see that sponge, but it's eating holes through it. It's so powerful, and it's inside a plastic jug, and the light's coming through the plastic jug, which is tinted blue, and it's still destroyed the sponge. That's how strong it is. It's breaking down the molecular structure of that sponge while it's behind a piece of plastic. $20. Yeah, see, you probably got the high end deal too, June. How much lights, June? Your UV replacements? I'm just curious. I bet you she's got big tanks. Eh? She's gonna have a big unit. I bet you it's hundreds of dollars. You should just switch to these little things, June, and stick them. Find a place to put them. DIY shield or something. One of those bulbs will do your 450-gallon tank all day. It's 24/7. And I've been $20 bulb. It's probably 4 months old. Still going strong. And when it dies, $20, and one shows up the next day from Amazon. It's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be expensive anymore. And I post a Discus video every day, so it's not like I'm just showing you my tank after a water change. This is old water. It's that little bulb that's doing this for me. And it's $20. I think everyone in the world with a fish tank should try and deploy one. Because you can't beat the price. It's probably even cheaper in the States, because we're all tariffed and taxed and everything up here in Canada. One guy told me he found them for $12 down there. But yeah, on the news front, see what's going on at Diego Garcia? It's an island in the Indian Ocean. An unprecedented amount of B-2 Spirit bombers has been landing there over the course of the last couple days, with an ass ton of C-130s. So you know what that tells me? They're going to bomb Iran. They're going to go in there with those B-2s. They're going to be lined up with bunker busters, and first one's going to drop a bunker buster on the Iranian nuclear facility that's buried in a mountain, and it's going to bore a hole. And it's going to blow up and soften the ground. And then they're going to drop a second one with the next B-2, and it's going to go deeper. And they're just going to dig all the way down to the core of the earth if they have to with B-2 bombers and destroy Iran's nuclear program. And so, of course, no one knows for sure why they're there, but there's never been this many B-2 bombers sent out. And if they're not delivering nukes, they're doing the job I just described. And to get Iran's nuclear facility, they've got to dig deeper than they've ever had to dig before with the bombs, right? So that's why they got all those B-2s stacking up at Diego Garcia, because they're going to bore a hole through a mountain with them. And it's going to happen probably in the next week or two. Yes, I use... Well, mine, I wouldn't technically call it HMA, but I believe it still qualifies as HMA. I'm using RV camper style block filters to that job for me. They're dirt cheap, and they take 95 to 98% of the junk out of the water. I'm on chloramine, and it does not remove chloramine. But if I was on chlorine, they would completely remove the chlorine. I wouldn't even need prime. So I use a 20 micron unit, and then I link another 5 micron unit that has a charcoal block filter behind that, and then it goes into my hose, into my tanks. My taps are like 8.9, like maxed out on the test kit for pH. And when it gets into my barrels, it's about 7.4. And then when I rest it in my barrels, I pre-treat and rest it, and then I float it over in my tank for the water change. It ends up being around 6.5, which is perfect for discus. Egg hatch, babies live. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. $39. I'd be happy to pay $39 for a replacement. I mean, it sucks, but that's pretty good for a big unit. That's a lot better than I thought. I bet you up here it cost me $100. Those lava balls, they're called LECA, L-E-C-A. It stands for Light Expanded Clay Aggregate. I bought mine at a specialty fish shop for a penny a gram. And what they do is they have no oxygen in the center of them. So each one of them creates an anoxic zone, every little ball. And you can basically consider each one of those balls the equivalent of a plant in a planted tank for removing nitrates from your water. And I put thousands of them in there. So it keeps my nitrates like freaking way down. They don't build up fast at all. And I don't have much plants. I've got some moss and some stuff, but I almost have no plants because I use those. No, I do not use any water softener. It comes straight in off the city, filled with minerals and garbage. And if I put a hose fill on this tank, I would kill my fish. Hello, Wally's Freshwater. How you doing, sir? Let's give you you're a YouTuber. Give you some blue words. There we go. Welcome aboard, Mr. Wally. Well, you can see this behavior is not going to stop. I think I'm going to pull the mature pair out, and maybe when they leave, we'll stop fighting. I'll put them in a tank and see if they breed, because she's wiggling and she's fluttering. So it could be her throwing the hormones that's getting everyone worked up, right? Normally it's just everyone's responding to one pair, but leaving them here like this also allows me to see who might pair with who, because it kind of like they all get excited when one person gets excited, then they all kind of they start jockeying. They're all in the mood. But throughout, I think these two right here, that female and this male, have paired as well. I believe they're paired. They're staying together. They flutter each other. So I can say I have two pairs right now in this tank that might go off soon. But this female's too young to really succeed. Hey, no problem, Tim. You drive safe. Lurk all the time as well. I should live stream more, but I just don't always have the time. This might be one of my live streams ever. So thanks everyone for coming and hanging out and watching. I never really too many people on my lives. I mainly just record content and upload, right? So, but this is live action courting behavior, and I think it's from an educational perspective, it's good to see this, because my tank doesn't always look like this, and my behavior isn't always like this either. This is what happens when the hormones are in the water, and then all the fish start responding to it. This is probably not good for my little guy, because hormones are supposed to slow him down. And there's nothing wrong with him. I'll show you if I make him think he's going to eat. He's going to come. He's just getting away from the fighting. That's all he's doing. I'll put food in there. I don't want anyone to think I got a hiding fish, because that's not what that's. That's a young fish getting away from the adults who are bickering. We'll throw some food in there just to let you see everybody's good. A little bit of kibble. Start him off with that. Probably didn't put enough in, but I'm going to follow it up with a bloodworm, because that's always fun to watch. You can see little guy's active. He's eating. He's fine. Oh, another guy needs to be blued right there. Here we go. Boom. That's done. Be sure to check out Shift's Discus channel. His tank's amazing. Just everything about it is amazing. I'm jealous because it's like not 30 years old like mine. But boy, does it look good. I'll get the old bloodworms out. This time we got this brand. I don't know who makes that, but they're pretty good bloodworms. Oh, thanks, Paul Scott. I'm glad to have you here, sir. It's we're all about the discus. I have Oscars too. Maybe the next couple days we'll do a stream by the Oscar tank like this, because they're beautiful, and that tank's just awesome too. It really is. It's bigger than this tank considerably. Here goes the bloodworm. Oh, I gotta change the angle. And we got window glare. Window glare. I would cover up this window, but I like the light in the room, so I just don't do it. But for filming, I should do it. Can't even see where the damn... Okay, there it is. Everybody gets some. See, even little guys chewing away there. That's it. It should be just about gone. That's always fun to do. I love giving them some protein. Yep. So happy that I got to this point. There was a while, a year ago, I thought I was just going to fail, because I started having a health problem last spring, and they stretched well into the summer, and I couldn't figure them out. And it was free floating bacteria in my water. It was just it was slowly killing my fish off, and I didn't know it. Couldn't see it. Didn't know it was there. And once I figured that out, easy street. It's been great ever since. And I probably spent like $1,000 on meds my first year, chasing my problems with meds because I didn't know better. I can't even get blackworms, unfortunately. For some reason, the government's not letting us. No stores have them, and I can't order them anywhere. I think they're banned here. I don't know why. I haven't seen anything official that says they're banned, but they're just unavailable, and I can't import them. So it's almost like they're treating them like the meds. I don't know why. So yeah, I haven't used blackworm because of that. They're just unavailable. If I can find some sites that will try to ship them, but they're like almost $70 for a little bag. It's disgusting. And so I use the various types of brine shrimps and the bloodworms. I used to feed beef heart, but I stopped. I'm just giving up on beef heart because it's too hard on the water, in my opinion. And I give them kibbles. I feed them Northfin pellets, and really what they get is which one is it here? It's got a picture of Discus on it. Huh. Well, it's this little guy right there, but they don't have a big one for some reason. I'll go get the bag after. Anyway, there's small Northfin pellets. These krill flakes, they really like the krill flakes, and they really like the Bug Pro, which is where is that? Right here. For Discus, this is probably the best Northfin food. It floats slowly and sinks slowly and stays suspended. But the honest to God best food I've ever found for Discus is this stuff right here. It's cheap, and the way it's designed, like the way it suspends in the water, and it's bright red, so it contrasts with my, it stands out visually for them. But almost none of it hits the ground because it stays suspended, and it also doesn't break down. It'll stay intact, so it doesn't make your water dirty. And they grow so fast on it. Like for a cheap food, you don't have to spend $50 on food to succeed with these guys. You could literally, this is the food they eat the most of right here, and then the other stuff just spices up their diet. And they love it. It's like crack. Aquatic supplies, eh? Okay. How much are they? You're talking blackworms, I take it. Else about a okay, some of my discs I grew out from 4-week old fry, and those would be this one here, where the other one that looks like her, and the third one's actually at my friend's house. I sent a breeding pair to my friend's house. The rest of them I bought at 3-inch, and recently I bought this female as an adult, and that white, not the this guy here. I bought that one as an adult recently from someone who was giving up on Discus. Basically, I think he was having the same bacteria problem and they were dropping off, and so he's just selling what was left. Because the blue one looked like she was suffering from that very problem, and she was disheveled as hell. I've got some weight. I went and touched the wrong spot again.
Jesus, Murphy. Here, get the camera out. No, it's not supposed to be camera 0. Oh well. Yeah, I've had trouble getting her to gain weight, but I brought her back. So she was all skin and bone when she got here. And then the little white guy I got from the same dude, and he was real small. He was probably 2 inch when he came in here, like 2.5. And he had pink gill. His gills were all pink and inflamed when he got here. I fixed him up too. And he might be a tad stunted because of that, but he's still within reason and he should make a full recovery. Yeah, okay. I'm just curious on the price. I don't like spending $50 on a small package of food. It's not economical enough for me. And then if it's too hard for me to ship here, I probably won't bother either, because if they get hooked on it and I can't buy it anymore, Discus will refuse to eat if they don't get what they want. You give them something that's good, and then you stop giving it to them. They'll hold out until you bring the good stuff back. Yeah, wow, too rich for my blood. Too rich and too hard to get. So it's a bad combo for me. See, they're all sort of pecking order, beating each other up. That's all hormones doing this. And if I water changed, it wouldn't change. They wouldn't stop because they're still in the mood. Yeah, for me it's a lot. I gotta pinch my pennies. This whole operation I got going's been on the slimmest fish budget in probably human history. Darn cameras. There we go, that's the one I like. I just gotta stop switching hands, so I stopped doing that. Where's my lighter? Oh, I better put my bloodworms back in the freezer, eh? We all do that at least once a year. Thaw out our bloodworms by accident. Yeah, this is a good time. No, I normally don't have. I normally get 2 or 3 people. Like it's always good to have June. June comes my live streams often, but I see everyone else. End of the workday. Okay, buddy, get her done. Fired up. It's always good to finish work on a Thursday, but it's even better to finish work on a Friday. Yeah, yeah. But I probably won't stream too much longer, to be honest, because I don't want to keep you all too long. I really appreciate you being here, though, and I wanted to display this behavior because I don't get a camera on it too often. And I just said, hey, you know what? This would be good live, because if anyone wanted to ask questions, you can see it's quite vigorous. But they won't hurt each other. It's all just cichlids being cichlids. Discus are not very likely to kill each other like cichlids are. It can happen, but it likely won't. So, and they'll calm down. Especially, I'm going to pull one pair out, and it'll probably make it all stop. Because I think it's the older pairs getting ready. And once I pull them out of the equation, everybody will just stop. I'll let them do their business in their little hotel room over there.
The babies won't live because it's 20 gallon, but it'll end this mayhem. And then after they finish doing their little egg laying cycles, I'll put them back and everybody will be happy. And that's how I do it. Yeah, no, shit's not cheap. Everything's not cheap nowadays. That's why I'm using foods like this. But I'll tell you, try it. They love it. It's like a drug to them. And you might want to call it junk food, but it's actually got good stuff in it. It's got everything they need, and they grow good on this food. Like I could feed them beef heart, bloodworm, shrimp, and flake. They won't grow. As soon as I get a fish that starts deciding to eat this, boom, they instantly start growing like a bad weed. I'll probably buy that food give that food all my Discus forever. Nothing wrong with the Northfin Light. The Northfin is great quality. Like I said, the flakes, the Bug Pro are probably the two I would recommend most because the other varieties, they sink to the bottom too fast. And then the Discus don't really find them. So you're going to get rotten food in your tank. But the stuff that stays in the water and floats around, those are foods you want to go for. That's how you keep things clean. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Wally. We're gonna wrap it up too here, and I thank you all for coming. It was fun chatting, and we'll do this again shortly.
Thanks for watching, guys.
And catch you on the next one.